Hello and welcome to this Thursday edition of the World Report with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. Russian state media is reporting that Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Thursday, in fact, confirmed that preparations are being made for President Vladimir Putin's visit to India. That's correct. Lavrov has said that Russia is actively strengthening ties with major global powers. My colleague Vishal joins us for more on this story. So now this comes after a meeting, in fact, between officials, Russian officials and Indian officials, and this news is just breaking on the World Report right now, where Russian media, state media, in fact, has confirmed that President Vladimir Putin will, in fact, soon be visiting New Delhi. Now, this also comes at the back of ongoing talks regarding the Ukraine peace deal just after the talks took place in Saudi Arabia's Riyadh last week with US as the mediator. Now, it's very important to remember here, PM Modi still remains, after 3 years of this long war, the only international leader to have met both Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. So he is one international leader who has access and ears on both sides of the aisle, which is very important in such a global conflict. For more of this story, my colleague Vishal Vivek joins us. Vishal, tell us more. What's the latest you're picking up?
The latest from the TASS agency, which is the state media agency of Russia, it's saying that the arrangements are currently being made for the visit. The dates have not been announced yet. This is the top diplomat of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, saying so. And he said this in a video address while doing a video conference titled Russia and India toward a new bilateral agenda. This was held on Wednesday, is what the state media report is saying. And they've said that Lavrov has noted that the Indian Prime Minister paid his first foreign visit to Russia upon his re-election last year. So they are sort of complying to the visit, and they have confirmed that Putin will be coming to India. But they have not given the date, as I mentioned earlier. The details will need to be ironed out. This will be a high-profile visit. India has been hailed the world over as one of the one of the countries that has gone onto the world stage and talked about peace very often. So all of that will probably be looked at, and there could be many bilateral deals that could be signed, but all of that remains to be seen. But for now, we can say that Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, will most likely be visiting India pretty soon.
Thank you so much for that, Vishal. Moving on, amid frosty ties between Delhi and Dhaka, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written to Mohammad Yunus, chief advisor to Bangladesh's interim government, wishing him on his country's Independence Day and, in fact, reiterating India's commitment to advancing the partnership between the two countries. Now, relations between the two countries have become tense, especially after the Awami League government led by Sheikh Hasina was toppled after a nationwide movement, and the former Prime Minister was also forced to flee to India. She's currently in New Delhi. The interim government formed after the change of guard is led by Nobel laureate and economist Mohammad Yunus. Now, amid reports of attacks on minorities, India shared its concerns with Bangladesh. Dhaka has said the attacks are politically motivated, not communally. Chinese President Xi Jinping is all set to meet Bangladesh's chief advisor Mohammad Yunus on Friday. Yunus is currently on a 4-day visit to China, with Dhaka and Beijing expected to sign pacts on trade and economy. US President Donald Trump has announced 25% tariffs on imported cars effective the 2nd of April. Now, the new levies mark an escalation in Trump's trade war against top U.S. trading partners and allies. Mexico and Canada, in fact, were among the U.S. biggest automotive suppliers just last year. Now, Trump has said that these duties would prompt companies to manufacture in the U.S., though analysts say that the extra import costs would, in fact, be passed on to the customers at the end of it. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen described the move as bad for business and worse for consumers. Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Mike Carney has labelled it as a direct attack on Canadian workers. Listen in.
But this is very exciting to me. This is the automobile industry, and this will continue to spur growth like you haven't seen. Before I was elected, we were losing all of our plants that were being built in Mexico and Canada and other places. Now those plants largely have stopped, and they're moving them to our country.
President Trump announced 25% tariffs against our auto industry. And this is a direct attack, to be clear, a direct attack on the very workers that I stood in front of, uniform workers I stood in front of this morning at the Ambassador Bridge.
I think there are two aspects. One is the car manufacturers, and the other is the auto component manufacturers, and both get a tariff of 25%. In terms of car manufacturers, I think the biggest exposure to the U.S. market is to Tata Motors through JLR. And note here that JLR does not manufacture as of now anything in U.S. Their manufacturing is primarily in Europe, UK, and Slovenia. So they might face some tariff structure there. And Mahendra also have their tractor business, but it's very small percentage of their overall portfolio. So not that much impact, but JLR will definitely have an impact of this 25% tariff. And this also changes the way companies have been planning their product portfolio, their production manufacturing plant. So let's see how it all pans out. But the other aspect of auto component, which is between India and America, it's about India exports around $6.5 billion annually, auto components annually to the US, and that sector might get impacted. If the idea is to manufacture more in the US, I think right now the clear impact will be the prices of products in the US will go up very quickly, because, getting manufacturing back to US will take several years. No plant can be manufactured in a day or two. So right now, I think the impact on the industry will be, on the US cars will be that the prices will go up. And from here on, how various governments negotiate with US will also depend, will also make sure that that tariff structures have different structures with every country. Now in India, what is interesting is that China is a bigger auto component supplier, but is now facing a higher tariff. India's got 25%, but China has got another 25% on all of exports from the US.
Donald Trump has said that larger tariffs could be placed on the European Union and Canada if they both work together to do economic harm to the USA. Now, Trump said this in a post on his Truth Social platform, and I quote here, "If the European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the USA, large-scale tariffs far larger than currently planned will be placed on them, both in order to protect the best friend that each of these two countries has ever had." German news magazine Der Spiegel has reported that the private data of top security advisors to Trump can in fact be accessed online, adding to the fallout from the officials' use of a signal group chat to plan airstrikes on Yemen. Now, according to reports, mobile phone numbers, email addresses, and in some cases, even passwords used by National Security Advisor Mark Paul's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard can be found via commercial data search services and even hacked data dumped online. Staying with the story, the White House is continuing to try and downplay the security blunder. That's right, the security blunder when a journalist was added to a group chat about plans to, in fact, bomb Houthi targets in Yemen. The White House has reacted furiously after the Atlantic magazine published messages between national security officials in a signal group chat in their entirety. President Donald Trump has called the reporting a witch hunt, and he has even declared the publication a failed magazine. Now, this comes after the Atlantic magazine published what it says is a timeline of war plans shared by Trump officials in messages on the Signal app that mistakenly included its editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, as well. Meanwhile, on the political front, things are heating up too. The Democrats are calling for both the Defense Secretary and National Security Advisor to resign. Listen in to what US President had to say, followed by a report from Washington, in fact, by NDTV's very own Kate Fisher.
Seth is doing a great job. He had nothing to do with this. Seth. How do you bring Seth into it? He had nothing to do with it. Look, it's all a witch hunt. Here we are talking about some of the greatest business deals ever made. The greatest companies in the world are moving into the United States, and you want to ask about whether or not Signal works. I don't know that Signal works. I think Signal could be defective, to be honest with you.
Well, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has reiterated that no classified information was shared on the chat. But screenshots of the thread posted by The Atlantic show him giving specific details of timing and the weapons used. The Atlantic decided to release them after President Trump and members of his government accused the editor of lying, and because of their repeated assertions that the information was not classified. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that President Donald Trump, quote, continues to have confidence in his national security team. And that was in response to a reporter's question on whether anyone would be fired over this. But several Democratic lawmakers have been calling for resignations. During an Intelligence Committee hearing on Capitol Hill, Democrats criticized the administration for not acknowledging that it was a mistake or apologizing, and called for those resignations. At the hearing, administration officials insisted the chat had not included classified information, and Democrats disputed that, while Republicans acknowledged that it had at least included sensitive information. Well, the top Republican and Democratic senators on the Senate Armed Services Committee are now asking the White House to expedite a Defense Department review of the incident. Kate Fisher, NDTV, Washington.
Thousands of Palestinians marched between the wreckage of a heavily destroyed town in northern Gaza on Wednesday in the second day of anti-war protests, with many chanting against Hamas in a rare display of public anger against the militant group. Now, the protests, which centered mainly on Gaza's north, appeared to be aimed generally against the war, with protesters calling for an end to the 17 long months of deadly fighting with Israel that has made life in Gaza insufferable, to say the least. But the public calls against Hamas, which has long repressed dissent and is still, in fact, ruling the territory months into the war with Israel, were rare. Indian film censors have blocked the release of critically acclaimed film Santosh over concerns about its portrayal of misogyny, Islamophobia and violence in the Indian police force. Now, the film, the UK's official entry to the Oscars International Feature category and even a BAFTA nominee for the Best Debut Feature, has been blocked by the Indian film censors. South Korea is facing snowballing damage from some of its worst ever wildfires that have killed at least 24 people and forced another 27,000 to evacuate. Now, the blazes have destroyed a 1,300-year-old Buddhist temple, houses, factories and vehicles, and even burned more than 43,000 acres. Hopes are now pinned on rain that is forecast for Thursday, but with less than an inch expected, the situation could continue to remain as dire as it has been. Istanbul's opposition-run municipal council has elected an interim mayor to run the city after Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu was jailed pending trial over graft charges that he and his supporters deny and call politicized. Authorities, by the way, have arrested more than 1,400 protesters, and this includes numerous photojournalists as well. They are clamping down on coverage of a movement that Mr. Erdogan describes as evil, but which is driven, in fact, by anger at cumulative political repression and the powerless state of the economy. The next presidential election is not due until 2028 in Turkey. Meanwhile, in the UK, Rachel Reeves is facing a backlash after the government's assessment said that benefit cuts will push 250,000 more people into poverty and are now set to impact 3.2 billion families. Pardon me. Meanwhile, angry critics contrasted the Chancellor's austerity cuts for the poorest to the recent controversies over her acceptance of £7,500 from a friend to buy clothes and free tickets to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. The EU has warned that Russia must fully withdraw from Ukraine before European Union sanctions on Moscow can be lifted, striking a blow to Donald Trump's hopes of striking a quick ceasefire deal. The US president agreed to Russian demands that international sanctions must be lifted in return for the partial truce in the Black Sea after marathon talks in Saudi Arabia earlier this week. French actor Gerard Depardieu has said he loved women and was not a groper as he made a final plea at his sexual assault trial in Paris. Now this after his friend and fellow actor Fanny Ardant vouched for him. Depardieu, who has acted in more than 200 films and television series, has been accused of improper behavior by around 20 women. But this is the first case which has ever come to trial. In West Philadelphia, where he was born and raised, now there's a street, in fact, called the Will Smith Way. That's correct. Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker and the city leaders honored the Oscar and Grammy winner on Wednesday, renaming a street next to Smith's old high school. He reminisced about learning the values of hard work and education from his mother and father before hitting it big as an actor and a rapper.
It's nice to have choices in life. Tony here chooses to get a new phone every year by exchanging his old one. Don't worry, Mike, you can get a new phone too. Big love to Gordon, who chooses a lifetime warranty to keep his phone lasting longer, just like his romance. Oh, love it. Keep your phone lasting longer, or you could get a new phone every year. The choice is yours at Vodafone.
Have we run out of milk?
Make more room for beauty. The hottest new arrivals join all your favourites at Boots.
Don't worry, found it.
Transform hard chairs and surfaces into comfy seats with Soft Sitter from JML. The lightweight and portable gel cushion that helps provide all-day comfort and support no matter where you sit. Its clever hexagonal honeycomb construction cushions, distributes and supports your weight. And its breathable design allows air to circulate, helping to keep you cool. Perfect for all types of seats or as a kneeling pad. Get the comfort and support you need with Soft Sitter. Only $14.99 from Asda, Argos, Dunelm, Tesco and JMLdirect.com.
Why do broadband switchers choose EE? Because for just $26.99 a month, you get our most reliable full fiber with nothing to pay up front. So you can keep working while the kids nail dance practice or help them get that homework project off the ground. Plus, we'll even give you up to £300 towards your leaving fee. And we'll handle the switch for you. Search EE Broadband Deals.
Wouldn't life be so much easier if you could control your blinds at the touch of a button? With Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, there's no chains, cords or wiring because these stylish blinds are driven by a rechargeable power pack. New Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, the intelligent solution for home shading.
Whatever you need to ask about cancer, Macmillan's free support line is just a call away.
Hello, Macmillan.
Whether it's money...
Am I going to lose my job?
Getting on with life.
Can I still go abroad? Get insurance?
Or just need someone to listen.
How do I tell them?
Our specialist advisors are here to help as often as you need them. Whatever you need to ask, cancer, money, life, call us now on 0808 134 1000.
We know travel can be confusing, so let us inspire you. Welcome to Qatar. Experience it all. World-class hospitality, diverse landscapes from city to sea, and fly there with the Airline of the Year 2022, Qatar Airways. Book now at travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. Travel Up. Flights, hotels, holidays.
Welcome back. You're watching The World Report with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Moving on to business news now. US President Donald Trump on Wednesday said he would consider a reduction in tariffs on China if Beijing approved a sale of TikTok's operations in the United States. Now, Trump's comments came less than 2 weeks before an April deadline requiring TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance to divest or face a US ban altogether. Questions about the fate of the popular video sharing app have continued to linger. In fact, since a law requiring ByteDance's disinvestment took effect on the 19th of January, after assuming office, Trump gave TikTok a 75-day reprieve by signing an executive order that delayed enforcement of the status until April 5th. Trump reiterated that the deadline on a TikTok deal could be extended further if needed. He previously proposed terms in which the US would have a 50% stake in the joint venture. Meanwhile, the administration hasn't provided details on what type of the deal would entail. Listen in.
For the TikTok sale, will you extend that deadline if you don't have a deal? Do you support Oracle?
Well, we will have a form of a deal. TikTok is very popular, very successful, very good. We're going to have a form of a deal, but if it's not finished, it's not a big deal. We'll just extend it. I have the right to have the deal and to extend it if I want. So we'll see whether or not we have a deal. We have a lot of interest in TikTok.
Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has said US President Donald Trump has risked damaging the US economy with additional tariffs and has vowed to, in fact, lodge a complaint with the World Trade Organization or the WTO over a trade levy on Brazilian steel products. Lula said on Thursday at a press conference in Tokyo that he, and I quote here, it will raise the prices of goods and could even lead to inflation that he hasn't yet realized. Protectionism doesn't help any country in the world, Lula said. The explosive Sunrisers Hyderabad take on the Lucknow Super Giants at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium, Hyderabad, Thursday. SRH defeated the Royals in their IPL opener by 44 runs on Sunday, while LSG lost a thriller, a literal cracker, against the Delhi Capitals by 1 wicket on one day. SRH are the favourites to defeat LSG, who lost their opening game by a slim margin despite scoring 209 runs. Nikola Jokic racked up 39 points, 10 rebounds and 10 assists in his return to the lineup. Michael Porter Jr. had 23 points and 10 rebounds, and the host Denver Nuggets beat the short-handed Milwaukee Bucks 127, in fact, to 117 on Wednesday evening. Christian Brown, meanwhile, added 19 points and 10 rebounds. Speaking of Jamal Murray, he scored 10, 17 points, and Peyton Watson finished with 12 for Denver, which snapped a two-game home losing streak. Now, the studio head has historically been seen as a fearsome and all-powerful figure capable of ending even a career with the snap of a finger, or changing lives rather with an impulsive green light. In the studio, though, Seth Rogan's studio chief is more Selena Mayer than Louis B. Mayer. As much as Rogan's Matt Tremick, head of the fictional Continental Studios, sits in a sought-after seat of power, he's helpless against larger trends in the film industry. Now, he wants to be making Chinatown, but instead, his most important task is getting a Kool-Aid movie off the ground. Rogan's character is often flanked by a team of executives played by Catherine Hahn and Barnholtz and Chi Sui Wonders. Although the series is satire, Rogan says the show is actually made by people who love what they do. Listen in.
I hope people watch it and understand that like they genuinely have the power to decide which movies get made and which ones don't, and that is a big responsibility. And I just hope that they are making those decisions for the right reasons. And generally, people who ascend to the head of a movie studio actually love movies, you know, and they could do something else if they didn't. Much easier and probably make much more money, you know, and the idea that they would be knowingly making movies worse or knowingly sacrificing merit creatively for a safe bet, I think it's just a stupid way to play the game, because you never know what's going to work. And at the end of the day, you could think you're mitigating all the risk in the world and still make a piece of shit no one likes, and you could take the biggest swing ever creatively and knock it out of the park. And so why not just take the creative swing? Why not do the thing that when you look back on when you're older, you're like, at least I went for it.
As part of a record-breaking Circus Maximus World Tour, music world global rap sensation Travis Scott is set to make his way to India. His debut, the Grammy-winning rapper will bring his high-energy performance to the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi on the 18th of October. The rapper will also perform in Africa, South Korea, China and Japan as part of his massive Circus Maximus World Tour, as he calls it. It's time we slip into a short break. See you on the other side.
At AJ Bell, we're all about making investing easy. Open an award-winning ISA today in under 15 minutes. AJ Bell, feel good investing.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest country,
Chief Minister who unnecessarily made a comment about the three-language policy and issues of Tamil Nadu, which he has any reason to be commenting about. First, let him get his house in order and under control. We see the kind of hate.
At Direct Line, we know that for multi-property landlords, sometimes the tiniest of things can turn into way bigger problems. From niggly contract issues to keeping up with ever-changing legislation. That's why Direct Line's landlord insurance offers a 24/7 legal helpline as standard. Because a call with someone could help to make the hairiest of problems feel that little bit smoother. Search Direct Line Landlord Insurance. We're on it.
Oh, wasn't he lovely? That young man at Avanti Travel Insurance.
Yeah, very.
He was so reassuring. They covered all our medical conditions, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Your diabetes, my dodgy hip.
And the rest.
Even at your age, love. Oh. Love?
Oh, great.
Oh, love.
Avanti Travel Insurance cover most pre-existing health conditions for all ages. That's travel reassurance. Call or go online.
I knew I should have got the flamingo.
Say hello to the UK's most personalised Mother's Day card. And now, get 20% off all cards this Mother's Day. Moonpig.com.
It's been functioning in Chennai since the 1930s. I mean, we are not, even when the anti-Hindi agitation was on a high, probably even then the Hindi Prachar Sabha in Tamil Nadu was functioning. We never objected to that. We never caused any hindrance to that. We probably are not against any language. But my point is, like when Amit Shah ji says that, why is he against English? He says English should be wiped out from this nation. English is a global communication language. I mean, probably without English, however, probably no youth going to probably survive, when they go abroad. I mean, this is totally crazy. And next thing is, you told probably he loves Tamil, but I'm asking you, nearly in Tamil Nadu we have around 8 crore Tamils, and throughout globally, you take Singapore, you take Malaysia, you take some of even the European countries, Tamil is widely spoken, nearly around by 12 crore people. But how much was the funds allocated for promotion of Tamil? Probably a paltry 20 crores, whereas the amount allocated for Sanskrit was more than 500 crores. What is he going to say about that?
Meanwhile, the Delhi government has now renewed its pitch and is saying that the focus is on the education of the student. BJP government pitch for the students: 30 days, 180-hour free coaching scheme has been launched by the government of Delhi. This free 30-day crash course is for NEET and CUET, and the scheme will be applicable for Delhi government school students itself. Now, the government says over 1 lakh students are going to benefit from this scheme. Remember, education was one of the key factors for the Aam Aadmi Party, the government of Delhi, which the BJP, in fact, is running at this moment after 27 years of being in the opposition, also focusing on the education. Good initiative as being seen there by the government of Delhi. There was a free coaching institution, initiative by the previous Aam Aadmi Party government as well. We'll try and understand how different it is from there and how the government wants to in fact put this in place. But at this moment, we are learning that the government is all ready for a crash course, a 30-day crash course, 180 hours coaching scheme for students of class 11th and 12th in the national capital who are appearing for the NEET and the CUET examination. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. News and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
Big deals now on. Get up to £200 off the Hisense titanium laundry range. Shop now at ao.com.
In People's Postcode Lottery's April draws, a share of £25.4 million must be won. Sign up before midnight on the 31st of March.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Airflow can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000. Get your conditional decision in minutes.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
Please, can you send someone out? The poor thing is so skinny, I don't think he can walk.
Okay, let me take an address.
Today, the RSPCA will answer over 2,000 calls about animal cruelty and neglect.
It's just completely unacceptable, isn't it, mate?
Today, we will need to take over 100 animals into our care. Today, we urgently need your help to save them. Please call 0800 121 4230. Every minute of every day, animals are suffering heartbreaking cruelty and neglect. A gift of just £2 a month will help us do even more. Answer more calls, rescue more innocent animals and provide more life-saving treatments. But today, animals are suffering terrible abuse and neglect. Help us save them. Today, please call 0800 121 4230 or text TODAY to 80039 and give £2 a month. Thank you.
I'm a simple man, but now I'm in my 50s, things are getting a little more complicated. Retirement's peeking around the corner, and I wanted to make sure my family would be really looked after if anything happened to me. That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today.
They're the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period.
Unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years, with Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one. And you're covered for the whole of your life.
Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Learning more can be simpler. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card. To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0808 143 4774 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them.
Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
कायदे में रहो, फायदे में रहो, वरना शमशान या कब्रिस्तान में रहो। Arjun.
Sign up and start saving with Quidco today. Get cashback every time you shop on over 5,000 brands. It always pays to Quidco.
We know travel can be confusing. That's why I use travelup.com. Compare and book over 100 airlines and thousands of hotels. And while you're away, TravelUp has you covered. Get flight updates on delays and cancellations in a way that suits you. TravelUp provides this for over 100 airlines, so there's no need to have multiple travel apps on your phone. Book now on travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. TravelUp. Flights, hotels, holidays.
The Sharps half-price spring sale is now on. Get Sharps bespoke fitted furniture for every room, from bedrooms to home offices and living spaces. Many ranges are now half price, including our best-selling Shaker range. Our exclusive Space Plus system means twice the storage space of freestanding wardrobes. Plus, you get our industry-beating 15-year guarantee. Don't miss the Sharps half-price spring sale. Book your free home design visit today at sharps.co.uk.
With Post Office Over 50s life cover, enjoy peace of mind knowing your family will receive a guaranteed payout when you're gone. UK resident 50 to 80, you're guaranteed acceptance. No health checks and from just £1.15 a week. Plus free 24/7 GP access with the health and wellbeing benefit. Purchase and receive a £125 gift card for amazon.co.uk, Tesco or M&S. Call Post Office on 0800 171 2211.
Gold Bank London, your number one place for buying and selling gold. Visit goldbank.co.uk or call 0203 500 1111.
Don't you have Watchdog Lock? No! What's that? Don't be a victim, yeah. Get Watchdogs, 3-star solid secure diamond locks. They are anti-pick, anti-snap, anti-bow. बोले तो fully anti-chore. जब तक जोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे.
But says one's life is in God's hands and one's lifespan is decided by God, while he acknowledged the challenges created by the heightened security cover provided to him following the threats being a huge burden to move from one place to another with so many security guards at any given time. It remains problematic for the superstar.
I'm right now outside Galaxy apartment, and you can see there are two police officials right now standing outside Galaxy apartment gate, but there are also other security which is around apartment in different cars and also police vehicles. Let me go to what you are talking about is Salman Khan talking about the security that he has to move around with and the threat that he received. So he has been promoting Sikandar, which is releasing on Sunday on Eid, and one of those promotional event he met the media, but the cameras were not allowed. The media were divided into two groups, and we sat with Salman and we spoke to him, and when we asked him about the threats and the security, he said this, and he said Bhagwan Upar Wala, that is Allah, decides everything. Jeena marna unhi ke haath pe hai. So jitne din jeena hai wo sab तय है. So I'll quote him and exactly tell you what he said. Allah sab upar hai. जितनी उम्र लिखी है उतनी उतनी लिखी है, बस यही है. When we spoke to him about the challenges of moving around with the security, he said कभी-कभी इतनी लोगों के साथ में लेकर कभी-कभी इतने लोगों को साथ में लेकर चलना पड़ता है, बस वही प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. He also said that because of the security, he makes sure that he doesn't go anywhere. Only a place that he's allowed to go is shoot and back to Galaxy shoot. This is what he said. There has been security heightened after he got death threats since 2024, and also when there was a firing outside his house. This is the first time that Salman Khan has spoken out about this incident while promoting Sikandar.
Meanwhile, the war on drugs in Punjab continues, where the police says new measures have been deployed. The focus is on the Pakistani route, and we are examining smuggling via Pakistani drones. Cross-border smuggling is a big challenge. The DGP of Punjab has said will tackle big smugglers. Over 2,000 FIRs have been registered since March 1st. 4,000 arrests and huge drug seizures have also taken place during this drive of the Punjab police.
पंजाब सरकार का जो ये युद्ध नशा विरुद्ध अभियान के अंतर्गत एक स्ट्रेटजाइज करके पंजाब पुलिस की तरफ से बड़े ड्रग स्मगलर्स को टारगेट करके एक मेजर कैंपेन उनके अगेंस्ट लॉन्च किया जा रहा है. अभी तक इस अभियान में हमें बहुत कामयाबी मिली है. टोटल 2384 FIRs दर्ज हो चुकी हैं 1 मार्च के बाद, और 4142 लोग अरेस्ट किए गए हैं. 146 किलो हेरोइन रिकवरी हुई है. हाल ही में एक ANTF ने जैसे ड्रग नेटवर्क बस्ट किया था, तो जिसमें पाकिस्तान बेस्ड स्मगलर्स, कौन से कुरियर्स थे जिन्होंने उसे ड्रग को वहां से कलेक्ट किया, किन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को उन्होंने आगे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया, फिर स्ट्रीट लेवल पेडलिंग पे गया, और ये पैसा कैसे वापस पाकिस्तान गया, हवाला नेटवर्क, इसको एंड टू एंड मैनर में इन्होंने ये एक बस्ट किया. तो इसी तरीके से एंड टू एंड मैनर में ये ड्रग नेटवर्क्स को बस्ट किया जाए.
We have seen that DGP Punjab Gaurav Yadav, he briefed the media. He says they are trying to amend the previous strategy which they have been adopting for last so many days, and a lot of result has been got through that strategy which has been made by state government. Now what they have decided, they have given a very clear-cut orders to all the superintendent of police in all the district. There is need to find out all the linkages, and specifically the people who have already been arrested in the various districts, they should be interrogated in a proper way so that they will be able to find out the big fishes. Now what we have learned and what the DGP Punjab has already told and briefed about the new strategy which they are opting in the coming day, they says now we are trying to find out the big fishes who are behind this drug smuggling which is happening in the state of Punjab. He says we have already got a huge response from public also. The way this war against drug campaign is already underway in the state of Punjab, and they had been demolishing the property which has been encroached by drug mafia in the various locations of Punjab, and now they want to amend this strategy, and now they have decided to give the time to all the SSP within a week. They should give a proper detailed investigation, and they should also try to find out the detailed interrogation of these drug peddlers so that they will be able to find out who are the people behind this, and they will be able to catch the big fishes.
All right, some breaking news coming in at this moment. Right at the top of the bulletin, we told you, ladies and gentlemen, the 6 Bar Association representatives have met the collegium and the Supreme Court demanding certain change in procedures and more accountability. As far as the judges is concerned, this was triggered after Justice Yashwant Verma, the cash howl was found at his place, burnt cash notes were recovered from his official residence. The Bar Association has also demanded the transfer of Yashwant Verma to be halted. Now that meeting has ended, and the representatives of the Bar Associations have said that the collegium is open to and is considering our submissions. Let me bring in my colleague. All right, we'll just first listen in to some reactions on this, and then we'll go across to Nupur.
Corruption in the judiciary can be pulled out, taken out, only when there is full cooperation of the bar and the bench. It is not that the judges alone can be corrupt. So it is an entire aspect. The bar has put its support behind the judiciary, and things will definitely change from here on.
Sir, has CGI said anything to you?
मैं आपको समरी देता हूँ, एक लाइन बोलता हूँ, ठीक है, जिससे आपका पूरा कवर भी हो जाता है और हमारा कंसर्न आपको क्लियर हो जाता है. मैं ये वॉर जो लड़ रहा हूँ, मैं वॉर इसे मैं लड़ाई नहीं कहता, वॉर कहता हूँ, क्योंकि ये लड़ाई नहीं है, ये एक कॉमन मैन की आवाज़ है जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ। आज मुझे इस बात की खुशी है कि आज इस कॉमन मैन की बोली हुई आवाज़ कोलिजियम तक पहुँच गई। 5 मेंबर्स ने हमें बहुत कायदे से सुना है, बहुत पॉजिटिव तरीके से उन्होंने ये कहा, स्पेशली मैं उनकी लाइन कोट कर रहा हूँ कि ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट रेज्ड बाय यू इन राइटिंग will be considered by us strictly within the premises of law. Don't worry. And this statement from the collegium's 5 senior judges, मुझे बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस है, ये स्टेटमेंट हल्का स्टेटमेंट नहीं है, बड़ी बात कही है उन्होंने, एंड ये सारा मैटर हम लोग रिकंसिडर फिर से, इसी कारण से हम लोगों ने इसको रिकंसिडर करने का विचार किया।
Nupur joins us with more details on this. Nupur, we are hearing the collegium has, in fact, like the association of the bar member was from the bar was saying that the collegium is going to consider the memorandum and the suggestions given by the bar. What are you picking up?
Well, first of all, they had, in fact, the heads of 6 bar associations from across India had, in fact, approached this collegium today for a one-on-one meeting, and they had, in fact, presented their demands in a joint statement to the collegium, whereby they had sought in fact, sought more accountability on the part of judges. They had, in fact, sought a revision of the existing law under that was formulated by the, in fact, the guidance formulated by the Supreme Court to initiate inquiry against sitting judges in late 1990s. So they have in fact said that the judges should be made more accountable. Those rules should be revisited. They have also said that a criminal action should have been taken immediately on March 15th, the very next day. And in fact, inquiry should be initiated by the police or the CBI or any other investigation agency. So they have kept these demands in front of the collegium today. Now, speaking to us, the Allahabad High Court Bar Association head Anil Tiwari today said that collegium, the 5 top judges of the Supreme Court, have in fact listened to their demands and have assured that they will be giving due consideration by staying within the remits of the law. Whatever they can do, they will do on their demands.
Nupur, while the collegium has been open to these suggestions from the bar, what about the demand of the transfer to be revoked? Because there is still a lot of opposition in Allahabad Bar Association as far as the transfer of Justice Verma is concerned.
Well, yes, in fact, this was one of the demands that they have, in fact, placed in their joint statement. And as I told you, that the collegium has assured them that they will be considering all their demands, keeping in mind the limits of the law. And it is, in fact, one of the demands by these bar association heads that his transfer should be stopped. And, in fact, all administrative work should also be taken from him, like judicial work has been taken away from him. Now, the Supreme Court collegium has assured them that they will be considering their demands and will in fact do as much as they can within the remits of law.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us with all those details on this story. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump on Wednesday announced a 25% tariff would be imposed on automobiles imported into the United States. The US government argues it is an effort to bring back manufacturing jobs to the country. The tariffs have drawn criticism from all across the globe, with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney saying this is a very direct attack. We will defend our workers, we will defend our companies, we will defend our country.
But this is very exciting to me. This is the automobile industry, and this will continue to spur growth like you haven't seen. Before I was elected, we were losing all of our plants that were being built in Mexico and Canada and other places. Now those plants largely have stopped, and they're moving them to our country.
President Trump announced 25% tariffs against our auto industry. And this is a direct attack, to be clear, a direct attack on the very workers that I stood in front of, uniform workers I stood in front of this morning at the Ambassador Bridge.
Concessions and flattery have failed, and if tariffs are going to be imposed on our exports on April 2, I want to know what is the government's response. If a tariff war and a trade war is unleashed, It will lead to depressed exports, lower FDI, higher inflation, and currency depreciation. I am saying there are sane voices in the world. Canada, Britain, France, Germany, European Union, Japan. India must stand with the saner voices, the sane voices, and do everything, collective action, to prevent a tariff war and a trade war.
All right, let me go across, in fact, at this moment to my colleague Vishal, who's joining us with more details on this. There will be concerns not only just in Canada, but also in European Union and other countries, including India. And, the global economy is bracing right now, Vishal, for the impact of what Donald Trump is doing at this moment.
That is correct. So these tariff war scenarios have been brewing for a while now. And the latest chapter is that Donald Trump has announced 25% tariffs on all auto imports. This includes auto components also being imported into the US. So which means India could be affected, but not to that extent that other countries in Asia, such as Japan or China or other countries like South Korea, could be affected. India would be affected in the sense that it does export some auto components to the US side, but it remains a very small sized market when it comes to Indian automobiles going to the US. So that will not be affected that much. But at the same time, you talked about the global economy, there's always a risk of it being upended. There are many experts saying that these tariffs could have an effect on the US economy, the inflation could rise, and that could have a ripple effect on the rest of the world. So all of that remains to be seen. These are still early days. The tariff will come into effect on April 2nd as far as the automobiles are concerned, and as far as the components are concerned, they will come into effect only on May 3rd. So there is still time to go. And experts are already saying that it will directly affect some American consumers and automakers. Consumers can expect, rise in prices as much as $12,500 per vehicle, which is a lot. Already it's skyrocketing in the US. About $50,000 per car in the US at the moment is the price. It could go up to about $62,500, which is a lot. So all of that remains to be seen. But for now, India is sort of untouched by this.
All right, thank you, Vishal, for joining us with all those details on this story. Moving on, South Korea, in fact. All right, before we do that, let's also get some reactions on this.
Trump's auto tariffs, remember, for India will impact the auto component makers the most. Remember, 27% of overall auto component exports go to the US. So this really is significant. So all auto component makers really and auto part makers really are likely to be hit. So the US market, remember, is significant for India from the auto parts perspective altogether. That's as far as one key element is concerned of the impact. Now remember, Tata Motors in particular, the stock has nosedived over 7%. And this is why. This is because JLR, remember, is likely to be hit because they have no local manufacturing in the US. So these really are the key trigger points or the key impact as far as the auto sector at large is concerned from India. But US President Donald Trump's, of course, decision to go ahead with these tariffs, and with this, of course, is a clear sign and a clear signal that he is looking at sectoral tariffs. Remember, he has earlier done this with the steel and aluminium sector. Now he's done this with the auto. So, of course, the spotlight really that he's signaling that he's not holding back. He's going as far as, of course, the sectoral tariff hikes are concerned, and the India impact is likely to be felt on the auto part makers.
Will we be able to carve ourselves out of it by way of some consensus that we may agree with them, or some trade agreement which we are discussing is something that needs to be seen? If no, then the direct impact on this sector is going to be severe. Not just vehicles that we drive, but everything. It's going to have severe impact on the logistic costs as well. And because it's a tariff which is going to be passed on to the consumer, the cost of product and cost of consumption is going to go up significantly.
Shifting focus to some entertainment news now. South Korea is facing snowballing damage from some of its worst ever wildfires that have killed at least 24 people and forced 27,000 to evacuate. The blaze have destroyed a 1,300 100-year-old Buddhist temple houses factories and vehicles and has burnt more than 43,000 acres. Hopes are now pinned on rain that is forecast for today, but with less than an inch expected, the situation could remain dire. Short break at this moment. News and updates continue here on NDTV.
What are you so happy about?
I've just made a claim. We could be owed thousands.
My claim group?
Yeah, the cars we bought on finance, well, the lenders could have charged hidden commissions. It's dead simple to claim.
Hey, I had 2 cars before we met.
Go to My Claim Group. You could be owed thousands in hidden commissions from cars you bought on finance since 2007, even if you can't remember the details.
Done.
Simple, eh?
Go to My Claim Group now.
Claims made simple.
This baby bear is terrified, torn from her mother's paws at a tender age. They will force her to live alone in a tiny, filthy cage, like so many bears driven mad by loneliness, rubbing their wounds raw against the bars, suffering cruelly day after day, year after year, just for people's entertainment. Four Paws found little Potap crammed into a tiny, squalid cage. He'd been there for almost 9 years, lonely and isolated. There are so many more young bears who need your help. Please call 0800 038 0496 or text BEAR5 to 70800 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone. Every month, your £3 could help us free more bears. Help give bears the veterinary care they need and help them live happy, healthy lives in the freedom of our natural sanctuaries. Please call 0800 038 0496 or text BEAR5 to 70800 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone and help Four Paws free bears from agonizing torture. Please, don't leave these bears to suffer for a single day more.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In the cash clouds, Justice probe picks up pace with the Delhi Fire Chief's statement being recorded. The Fire Department has found burnt notes at the judge's house. That is what the Fire Chief of Delhi had to say. And the BJP slams MK Stalin, saying that he is a con artist. That is what Annamalai, the BJP chief of Tamil Nadu, had to say about the chief minister. And DMK hits back at those charges, saying that it's the habit of the BJP to con people. Parliament gag showdown with the opposition meeting the Lok Sabha Speaker. It's Gaurav Gogoi who's gone on to say that Rahul repeatedly has been gagged in the Parliament and not being allowed to speak, while the BJP says this is Congress's distraction tactic. Odisha Assembly showdown after 14 MLAs were suspended. The Congress protest that took place in order to ensure safety of women in the state. The police resort to water cannon and lathi charge being used in order to disperse the protesters. US President threatens larger tariffs. Trump's tariff war triggers an alarm as far as global economy is concerned. The opposition says that the government must join ranks with sane global voices. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has accepted India's invite. A Russian diplomat has gone on to say, we're talking about Sergei Lavrov saying that preparations are on for that visit and now it's our turn. A very good afternoon. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. We have a whole lot lined up for you, including news coming in regard to the Judge Cash case probe, in which now the Delhi fire chief has made his statement in regard to what really happened when they reached the residence of Justice Verma. They're saying that the fire department had found burnt notes, and those burnt notes were found at the house of Justice Verma. So that is the latest in the case. This is the Cash Clause Justice, the Judge Cash Rao. Of course, that's become quite a flashpoint. We have Anushka joining us. Anushka, take us through this revelation that is coming about. And, it's been so many days, and now is the time when, we've always heard contradictory statements from the fire chief of Delhi, and now he's gone on to say that there were burnt notes that were found at the residence.
That's right, Divya. We did see a very controversial part played by the Delhi fire chief. He took multiple U-turns on giving the statements while he was asked about the question as to what really happened on the day when the burnt cash was found inside the residence of Justice Yashwant Verma. Right now, we're just outside his residence. We'll show you some visuals also. Today, the several members of the Bar Council of different states, 7 different states, in fact, went to the Supreme Court to meet the CJI. And, after the meeting, they did say that the CJI has agreed to listen to all of their demands. They have in fact said that the Justice Verma, to withdraw all administrative work in addition to the judicial work which was already withdrawn by him. Now also to set the criminal law in motion as is applicable to any other government servant, according to the report of CJ of High Court of Delhi. And somebody removed the articles from the premises on 15th and had the criminal law been sent on motion. They have also in fact asked for the accountability and transparency as to whatever happens in the higher legal authorities. They have to in fact be answerable to these kind of situation, and there should be in fact reconsideration of the recommendation that was sent that Justice Yashwant Verma should be sent to Allahabad High Court. Now that is the parent court of Justice Yashwant Verma, and the members of the Allahabad Bar Council are in fact protesting regarding this matter, saying that any person who has charge of such huge corruption on them cannot be coming to Allahabad High Court, as that is not a trash bin. And we are also seeing that several of the Bar Association members are in fact also saying that some accountability should be established here. Several questions are there which people are in fact asking answers about. They are saying as to what happened to the debris of the burnt cash that was found at Justice Yashwant Verma's residence, and why did he himself not file an FIR if he said that he had nothing to do with the cash that was found in his outhouse. So these are some questions, and the protests which are going on asking about the transparency and accountability in this matter, saying that he should not be transferred to the Allahabad High Court, and some semblance of transparency and accountability should be established in these kind of cases. Over to you.
Right, many questions being raised, and very valid questions at that, Anushka. Of course, this really comes at a time when lawyers have been on that indefinite strike. They're protesting against the transfer of Justice Verma from New Delhi to the Allahabad High Court. And like you mentioned, of course, in detail as to, the triggering effect that we are seeing. And of course, the bar associations, they're determining and asking and rather demanding that there should be accountability that needs to be fixed when it comes to judges.
That's right. We are saying that seeing that this case has in fact very rightly shook the judicial corridors of the Supreme Court. Also, we are seeing that judges are in fact right now protesting and saying that this cannot happen. Some judge who is facing such severe corruption charges cannot be sent to another a high court where people are already in fact there are piles of cases that needs to be seen. And also we are seeing the indefinite strike by the Allahabad Bar Council judges, and they are also saying that accountability should be in fact given in space. They in fact also appreciated the High Court's decision to in fact publish the 25-page report on the Supreme Court side. The 3-member committee has been in fact probing in this matter. All the members from the committee are right now staying in the Haryana Bhavan, which is in Chanakyapuri. We are also seeing that the Delhi fire chief has in fact also been summoned there to investigate upon this matter. He did played a very controversial part in this whole matter. First, he said that they did find the cash at the residence. Then automatically we saw him taking U-turn on his own statement, saying that they did not in fact find the cash when they were here to douse the fire. All the first responders' phones have been in fact taken by the police department to further inquire upon this matter. Yesterday we also saw the Delhi police officials coming here at the residence of Justice Yashwant Verma to further investigate upon this matter. The Bar Council members did meet the CJI today. The CJI had assured them that they will be taking appropriate measures in this whole case. But also we are seeing that the Bar Council members are saying that proper accountability should be taken in this case. The Justice Yashwant Verma should not be allowed to practice any judicial cases, and also the administrative powers should also be taken away from him, and ED and CBI should take over this matter and see as to what all has happened and why was this matter not coming into the public light for the 1 week that we saw from 14th to 20th. That was the 6-day gap when this matter came to light in public, and several of the facts are right now also missing in this whole case. What happened to the debris of the cash that was found? Why did this matter not come in public light earlier? The transparency issue was in fact questioned, and also regarding all this matter, people were saying that judges on higher positions should be in fact be facing criminal charges according to what government servant should be facing in this whole matter. Over to you.
Right, of course, the associations have sought accountability and proper investigation into the case pertaining to the cash that's been recovered from Justice Verma, and also, urging that the report by the Delhi High Court, really needs to be made public and the accountability of the judges be laid down. Thank you so much, Anushka, for getting us those details. Let's just switch tracks now to the Parliament and the gag showdown that continued today as well, with the opposition leaders meeting with the Lok Sabha Speaker. The opposition has gone on to say that Rahul Gandhi is not getting a chance to speak. It was Congress's MP Gaurav Gogoi who has alleged that opposition voices, particularly that of Leader of Opposition, are being curtailed in the Parliament. He also claimed that while the government ministers and the BJP MPs are given the floor without hindrance, the LOP is often prevented from speaking by citing procedural rules. While the BJP, of course, there is saying that this is nothing but a distraction tactic by the Congress party. But Rahul Gandhi, they're also saying, asking rather, why is he not being allowed to speak and what is it that they're really scared of? Let's listen in.
Issue in Zero Hour today. Will they be allowed today? I'm not allowed to speak, brother. I don't know what they're scared of. Sir, you should say this on camera, sir, please.
इंडिया अलायंस का एक डेलीगेशन शून्यकाल के समय में आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय से मिले और हमने अपनी सामूहिक चिंता और सामूहिक दुख आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय के समक्ष रखा कि किस प्रकार से सत्ता पक्ष सदन की परंपरा, नियमों और संस्कृति का उल्लंघन कर रही है.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi does not take the parliament sincerely and seriously and has a habit of lying. What the accusation which he has said is the accusation on the chair, and the chair has responded to it. We've seen how Rahul Gandhi was acting in a very cavalier manner and was thinking that the parliament is his personal property with the way he behaved with his sister. In the past, actually, Rahul Gandhi is one of the worst performing member of parliament in terms of questions being asked from a member of parliament. He's not even asked even 10 questions in totality as a member of parliament in the 5 years he has been in the house. So what he's saying is just a distraction tactic. The more Rahul Gandhi speaks, the more he exposes the Congress. So there's nothing to fear from Mr. Rahul Gandhi. In fact, we want him to speak more and more. You have to give a notice to the chair if you want to speak. That is point number one. We have seen when the Honorable Prime Minister was giving his speech, how Mr. Rahul Gandhi instructed his MPs to stop and create ruckus. So we have seen his behavior in the past. So we will not take what he says on face value. The chair will...
Aishwarya joining us on the phone line to get us more on this. Aishwarya, of course, the Congress party, they're saying that this is something that has been happening repeatedly, and every time that he stands to speak, he's not been given a voice to speak. And of course, the BJP, they're saying that this is nothing but distraction from the Congress.
Well, while responding to NDTV, Rahul Gandhi clearly stated that I don't know why the government is scared of him speaking in such parliament. Remember yesterday, the reason why Super Speaker Rogan seeking the leader of opposition to maintain the decorum in house and Martin finally.
Right, of course, calling it distraction tactics is what the BJP has said. But Rahul Gandhi, they're saying that I was sitting quietly and there's nothing that he did, and that he stood up to speak and that he wasn't allowed to speak. He said this is not the first time this has happened. He tried to do that when the Prime Minister was speaking on the Mahakumbh after, coming back and speaking on the Mahakumbh. He said, I wanted to ask about unemployment, and that time as well, he wasn't allowed to speak. So this is something he says has been repeatedly happening, and that, he's really questioning as to what is it that the BJP is scared of, that they don't let the leader of the opposition speak. And, he's also gone on to say that democracy means having a government and an opposition. But here, there seems to be no opposition, or at least there's no voice that's been given to the opposition to speak about their concerns or raise issues of concern. And that is something that Rahul Gandhi has brought up time and again. And of course, we have Aishwarya back with us. Aishwarya, of course, Gaurav Gogoi there also saying that this is something that, we've seen repeatedly, and really questioning as to why is it that the opposition is not allowed to speak.
Well, that's right. In fact, the entire India Alliance united together and met the Lok Sabha Speaker this afternoon and submitted a complaint on the leader of opposition not getting a fair amount to speak inside the House as well. It was Gaurav Gogoi who clearly stated that they don't even know about what instance about Lok Sabha Speaker was speaking but during that. But remember, Bharatiya Janata Party released a video of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, where Rahul Gandhi was pulling the cheeks of Priyanka Gandhi, and it was a hint towards that particular instance when Lok Sabha Speaker stated that Rahul Gandhi should maintain the decorum of the House. Today, Rahul Gandhi responded to that and stated that the government is not allowing him to speak inside the House, and he don't know that why government is so scared of him. Of course, the Congress party is stating that Rahul Gandhi wanted to raise important matters regarding the inflation, unemployment, and also the Kumbh issue as well. It is the showdown which is continuously going on between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress over the leader of opposition not giving chance to speak during the 0 hour. But it is, the Lok Sabha Speaker who had made very clear that first the opposition should maintain decorum, specifically naming Rahul Gandhi and leader of opposition that he should be maintaining decorum and should be respectful for the House, so that a good message should go towards the public as far as the entire House proceedings are concerned.
Right, thank you so much, Aishwarya. Let's just go across. We have breaking news coming in at the moment. And breaking news coming in regard to Rania Rao's bail plea that came up in court today, and that bail plea has been rejected. This is in regard to the Karnataka gold smuggling case. Do remember, it was the actor who had been found with a lot of gold strapped to her body. She has, of course, been in custody since, and this is in regard to Rania Rao, who has been seeking bail, but her bail plea has yet again been rejected. Do remember, third arrest has been made in the case. Sahil was arrested yesterday. He is supposed to be a gold merchant who was responsible for disposing of the gold that was smuggled into the country, and that is the grounds on which that arrest has been made. So now, of course, the DRI, has made a third arrest in that very case. So this is Rania Rao, who has whose bail plea came up in court today and has been rejected by now at a time when, of course, there seems to be more and more people involved in this. Do remember she had made about 27 trips to Dubai in the last 1 year itself, and this is, after which, of course, from what we are hearing is that Rania Rao, the prime accused in the case, of course, she was arrested on the 3rd of March and she had allegedly been smuggling over 14 kgs of gold valued at over 12 crore rupees. We have Nupur joining us. Nupur, on what grounds has her bail plea been rejected?
Well, in a very big development, the bail has been, in fact, today rejected by court in the gold smuggling case against Rania Rao. Rania Rao will continue to stay in jail as far as the information that is coming in. She will be, in fact, staying in jail in relation to Karnataka gold smuggling case. And no relief has been been granted to her or the second co-accused for now. After hearing all the arguments by DRI had, in fact, had opposed bail to her, as they had said that Rania Rao was, in fact, they had alleged was key in arranging hawala money for this gold smuggling, and so now the DRI was claiming that they need to investigate this angle also, as she was not only part of the gold smuggling, but she was also was instrumental in arranging the hawala money. They had told the court while arguing that they would in fact be needing her in custody, would need her to interrogate the case further. So now, for now, keeping all the submissions by DRI in mind, the court has for now rejected the bail plea moved by Rania Rao, and she will in fact continue to remain in jail.
Right, Nupur, for the sake of our viewers, just take us through the grounds on which, her previous bails have also been rejected. We do know that she had applied for bail twice before, and this is in regard to her bail that came up in the lower court and another by the special court for economic offences as well.
Yes, of course, as we have seen that several investigation agencies have now been involved in this particular case. As you know, DRI had previously said that they suspect a threat to national security. ED had also carried out some searches in relation to this case. The police has already been active. The Karnataka police is also active. The CBI is also investigating. So, of course, several agencies are, and she being the key accused, she has not been able to secure bail as of now, as investigation agencies have said that her custody would be needed to unearth more information in this case.
So, Nupur, you're saying basically her confession in regard to money being sent through hawala is what has led to her bail plea being rejected. Take us to the others who have been involved in the case and have been arrested so far.
Well, we can't say what exactly has led to the denial of bail, as Rania Rao's confession was in fact disputed by her own lawyer previously while arguing that they had said that she has made all the confessions under pressure, and they have in fact gone back on the confessions she has made in front of the DRI initially. But for now, considering the time and in fact the reasons why the investigation agencies need her custody for now to probe the case further, the court has for now rejected her bail.
Rania Rao had made 27 trips in the past 6 months to Dubai itself, and if we take into account the kind of trips that she'd made between 2023 and 25 were more than 50 trips, 52 trips in all on record, and that is what really got the authorities at the airport very suspicious of her activities. Nupur, take us through the others who have been involved in the case and have been arrested so far. There is her friend Tarun, who is involved in the case, and now yesterday there was another arrest made in regard to the person who was responsible for disposing of the gold.
Well, yes, just very recently there has been there have been total 3 accused other than Rania Rao. First of all, the recent one is Sahil Jain. He was in fact arrested as part of the investigation of this gold smuggling case, and DRI has alleged that Sahil Jain was key in abetting the smuggling of the case. And before this, there were at least 2 more arrests, and in fact the court had in fact rejected the bail by T. Raju also, and For now, there are these 4 key suspects on DRI's radar. In fact, an investigation was also initiated by the Karnataka government against her stepfather, who is also an IPS. So it was they were probing, in fact, that what was the role of local policemen and, in fact, her father in facilitating her to, pass through all the security checks, because it was being said by the DRI that without inside help, without help from the local officers, how is it possible that she was able to carry so much of gold from all the way to Dubai to Bangalore?
Right. Thank you so much, Nupur. Stay with us for the next story as well, and breaking news coming in. Now, Allahabad Bar Association head to NDTV in the first reaction coming out after the meeting with the CGI Sanjeev Khanna. The Bar Association members have met with the CGI. They have kept their demands forward before the CGI, and that they have said that they might call off their indefinite strike, understanding as far as the judiciary's feelings are concerned. So we're talking about Anil Tiwari, the head of Allahabad High Court, who has said that they have kept their demands in front of the CGI, which includes a stay in the transfer, withdrawal of administrative work, and criminal investigation, as well as change in law. Those are the demands that are being made. And Nupur joining us. Nupur, take us through, what really has happened and the reaction that's coming. The first reaction after that very crucial meeting of 6 Bar Association members who met with the CGI. What are their demands, and what is it that is their step forward? How do we see this going forward?
First of all, the demand includes a stay on the transfer. Secondly, they are also seeking criminal investigation against Justice Yashwant Verma.